Welcome to another exciting episode of Sportlink, our sport talk show where we talk about the topical sporting highlights. The main aim is to bring to light the various sporting activities and events in the Gambia and around the world. On the news segment today, we will be talking about the Gambia volleyball beach team off to Ivory Coast and the Under-17 FIFA World Cup that is taking place in Chile. On the Sumo Legend today, we will be bringing you George Gomez, the founder of the Gambia Media Sports. Finally, on the Viewpoint, we will be bringing you the zonal that is taking place recently. These and many more coming up in the next 15 minutes. I remain your presenter, Sarah Cho.
My name is Alaji Modunyai, commonly known as Biri Biri. Keep watching Sportlink, originally from the Gambia.
Thank you very much for watching and welcome to the news segment. I am Modelamin BI, and top of our headlines today, the Gambia beach volleyball team will be leaving the country on the 9th of November 2015 to take part in the Continental Championship in Ivory Coast. And I'm pleased to say we are joined live in the studio by the media officer of the Gambia Volleyball Association, Mohamed Lamin Sedikan, who takes us through.
Thank you very much, Modelamin BI. Yes, the Gambia Volleyball Federation will send a 12-man delegation to the Ivorian capital of Abidjan on the 9th to on the 16th for Continental Cup, the qualification competition for Rio 2016 Olympic Games in Brazil. This we're talking about beach volleyball.
So basically, this beach volleyball is it a requirement by the IOC or the to send your athletes to Rio Olympics?
Yeah, it's a requirement, and Gambia falls in Zone 2. I remember we were in Dakar in January for the sub-zonal where we qualified on both male and female. This time around, we are going to Cote d'Ivoire where 6 countries will converge: Gambia, Ghana, DR Congo, Kinshasa. They will all converge in Ivory Coast. For the 2 countries will qualify to the final stage in the continent.
So how many teams will the Volleyball Federation be sending to this particular competition?
We send in a double gender. When I say double gender,
that's male and female?
Female, 4 males, 4 females, a coach, head of delegation, myself, and then a rep from Gambia National Olympic Committee.
Okay, so what next after this qualifier? Whether if you take first, are you going direct for an automatic qualification to the
if we are ranked between first and second, we are going to the final stage. We will be staged somewhere around North Africa in January and February 2016. That will be the final stage, and that will determine which African country will really go to Rio Olympic Games.
So basically, the Gambia will be taking part in this, and can you please let us know who the Gambia will play with in the opening fixture?
Like most of the time, beach volleyball, the fixtures will be out on the 11th. That is the day for the technical meeting.
That's 2 days after you are there?
Yeah, 2 days after we arrive in Cote d'Ivoire. The fixtures will be out on the technical meeting.
And the team will be led by who?
The coach, you mean?
Yes,
the coach will be Ibrahim Anyas. Yeah, coach for Interior Volleyball Club.
Okay, and thank you very much, and we wish you guys all the best. And
thank you.
Hopefully we can get updates from Ivory Coast from you, and we wish the entire team good luck.
Thank you.
In other news, Nigeria is past Brazil 3-0 and Mali edge at Croatia 1-0 to reach the semi-finals of the Under-17 World Cup. Holders Nigeria once again showed their ruthlessness as they scored all their goals in 3 first-half minutes to end Brazil's challenge. Victor Osimhen, with his 8th goal in 5 games, Kingsley Michael and Odokuchi Anumobi were the scorers. For Mali, Sekou Koita struck the winner, and their superb defense has not conceded for almost 5 hours. Mali will now face Belgium, who beat Costa Rica 1-0 in their quarterfinal. Nigeria have a meeting with Mexico, who beat Ecuador 2-0 in the other last 8 tie. And finally, Lamin Jack, ex-head of the IAAF, is being investigated over allegations he took payments for dividing sanctions against Russian drug cheats. French prosecutors suspect Senegalese Jack, 82, of receiving money in 2011. The IAAF's new president, Lord Cole, was questioned by French police on Tuesday, having offered to cooperate. Athletics World Governing Body say it is fully cooperating and confirmed police had carried out searches and interviews at its headquarters in Monaco.
With me here we have George Gomez. Mr. Gomez, could you kindly tell us the secret behind this May Day?
Well, I thought about this, the idea of May Day in 1991, and I proposed to the National Olympic Committee to start it so that the workers can have a place to come and exercise in order to keep fit, because I felt that a fit worker is a productive worker. So I started this event in 1991, and I looked and I organized it for the first 20 years of its existence before I left the National Olympic Committee. So I take pride to see the organization getting bigger and bigger, because when I started it, we only had 10 companies that participated, and it started growing, and when I left there were about 45 companies.
Wow.
But
45.
now I know, I heard that there are about 60 companies. So I'm glad that something that I started has now come to fruition.
Wow, that's quite interesting from how you started it low to up now. Okay, what are the impact so far? What have been the impact?
Well, I haven't been to media for the past 3 years because I was not here. And for the past 3 years, this is my first media sport. And the first one that I am seeing taking place here at the July 22nd. Because all the events that I organized when I started it until I left were held at the Independence Stadium. So I'm interested to see how it works here, because with over 60 companies taking part, it must be a hell of an organization to have it in a smaller area here.
Quite interesting though. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to this month's premier edition of Viewpoint right here on SportsLink. Viewpoint is a segment that is created to discuss some topical sporting issues and highlights. And as usual, I am a host, Mudal Mbia, and today we are joined by a guest from a colleague media house in Mohammed Lamin Sedikan, and the one and only lady in the house, Miss Sirachor. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Our topic of discussion today will be on the Suparna Wetan, which is nearly drawing to its conclusion, as well as the Under 17 World Cup that is currently taking place in Chile, and the semi-final, and the final, which will come soon. But first on the topic will be the 2015 Suparna Wetan competition. Let me ask you, Sedikan, what do you make out of this year's competition?
Thank you very much, Morubia, and it's a pleasure to be part of your program today. I would say it's another competitive Super American that we witnessed in the group stages. A lot of goals were scored, especially in Group B, and then the so-called Group of that is Group A, where you have Sukuta, Brikama, the likes of these Serekunda East and West. They were unable to produce a lot of goals. But now we are to the knockout stage, which will start.
That's the quarterfinal.
The quarterfinal, which we're expecting to witness very soon.
Yeah.
And great fixtures that I think they are mouth-watering. Sukuta is up against Brufut in the quarterfinal knockout stage, and you have Manjai and Banjul. They are already, to at least see if they can book their tickets to the semi-final.
That's right. Sira, let me come to you. Serekunda is the defending champions. They seem to be struggling with draws all along, and but then they finally secured the victory against Serekunda West in the derby, 1-0. What do you make out of their performance?
To begin with, the zonals has always been interesting. Okay, I could remember last year when I used to hustle, being there and see how interesting it was. And sure, the performance this year is really very good. And I could remember the last year's zonals when Brikama were in their own house and were winning trophies. But then the moment they came out, they were beating. So basically we were saying that maybe it's some sort of magic that they were doing back at their home. But then the moment they came out, it was all broken up. So basically I enjoyed it, and this year's competition has been really competitive. Really.
Okay, and Sedikan, let me engage you on this. Brikama. They have been suspended for 3 years, and a fine of 20,000 that's leveled on them due to what the committee call crowd violence in their game against Banjul. What do you make out of the suspension?
I would not say it's a wrong decision from the Super American Committee because I think football, it should be violence free. Brikama, they did it, and they were found wanting, I think, 3 years and $20,000, and they were stripped off from the competition.
So basically, you're saying
immediately.
it's justice served.
It's justice served because
Okay.
this will let other zones to be able to maintain peace, because football is fair play.
Okay, and thank you very much. And just to give you the semi-final fixtures, there will be the quarter-final fixtures. There will be Bakau versus Banjul, Sukuta and Brufut, and the other quarter-final will be Manjai versus Serekunda East and Gunjur versus Serekunda West. And finally, on the topic of discussion on this viewpoint will be the Under-17 World Cup in Chile. We also drawing into conclusion into that particular tournament with the semi-finals, coming up. Nigeria facing up with Mexico and Mali facing up with Belgium. What do you make out of Nigeria's performance? 100% record.
I would say youth football in Africa is rising, and if Nigeria can trust Brazil 3-0, they can retain the trophy.
Well, sure, sort of. It's rising, as he said, but then it's only these two countries, these two African countries that are prosper. What is wrong with other African countries? I think this is a very big question mark we should ask. Sure, Nigeria is a very good team, and then we need to learn from how they nurture their players. That's what the rest of the African team should look forward to. And yeah, if they've come this far, obviously they can make it.
Okay, and Nigeria, possibly, who knows, we might have an all-African final with Mali facing up with Belgium and Nigeria facing up with Mexico. Possibly, if both teams win their semi-final matches, we can have an all-African final. And I'm afraid that's it for this week's edition of Viewpoint. Thank you very much to our guest, Mohamed Lamin Sidi.
Thank you very much, Amin.
And thank you, Sira. And I have been Lamin BI. Thank you, viewers, for watching, and see you next week.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for being with us throughout. Alas, that's all the time we had on this week's episodes, but you can always join us again next week. And also, if you've missed out on this episode, perhaps the previous episodes, you can check us out on YouTube. On behalf of the entire Sportlink crew, have a wonderful Saturday.